We all have goals, but why do we chase them? What motivates us? And do we let our desperation to achieve our goals make us do things that we regret? So I've been watching a lot of Avatar: The Last Airbender lately, and I wanted to talk about the amazing character development of Zuko, and why I relate to him, and why you might also too. Obviously not because I've been burned. Actually, I did get burned when I was like 6. I don't know if you guys can see this scar right here. If you don't know who Zuko is or what Avatar: The Last Airbender is, go watch it right now. So Zuko starts off as an impatient, temperamental kid who has one goal: to catch Avatar Aang. And when we first see him, he's presented as this violent antagonist who terrorizes people to get what he wants. Pretty much a bully. He even looks bad. Only an evil person would get this haircut on purpose. But as the story progresses, you learn there's something driving him and pushing him to do what he's doing. His father. Zuko is the son of the Fire Lord, the ruler of the Fire Nation. And during an important war meeting, Zuko spoke out of turn. Doing something like that was considered extremely disrespectful, and the only way to settle it was with a duel. An Agni Kai.
And there was only one way to resolve this.
Agni Kai. A fire duel.
With his own father.
When he turned to face his opponent, he was surprised to see it was not the general. Zuko would have to duel his own father.
Zuko pled for mercy and didn't want to fight, but his father only saw that as weakness, and so he burned him right on his face.
I looked away.
He banished him from the Fire Nation and told him the only way he could come back is if he found and captured Avatar Aang. If you think about it, Zuko's character is like a mirror version of real-life bullies. We first see him as this mean and ruthless person when in reality, all of this is stemming from his father's abuse. Just like how a lot of bullies in the real world lash out because of their home life. And this doesn't justify their actions, just like how it doesn't justify Zuko's. But just because you don't excuse what a person has done, doesn't mean you can't have sympathy for what a person has been through. I think Zuko's scar symbolizes this perfectly. When you first see him, you see the scar as something that adds to his evil look, but his evil look is just a result of suffering.
My father decided to teach me a permanent lesson on my face!
Just like how his evil actions are a result of suffering. So for the rest of the season, we see Zuko trying to capture Aang. It's interesting because you don't really root for him, but you do understand him. You see why he's doing what he's doing. And even though he's still technically bad in this season, you see hints of who he really is at his core at moments. Like when he prioritized the safety of his crew over chasing after Aang. Most villains don't care about hurting people around them to get to their goal, but these little moments of kindness show who Zuko really is at his core. Someone who really influences Zuko's progression is his uncle Iroh. Even though Iroh isn't Zuko's real dad, he loves Zuko very much and always tries to give him really good advice. And what's interesting is that Zuko is spending all of his time trying to earn his father's love while ignoring the love that his uncle Iroh is trying to give him for free. And it does make sense. I mean, it is his dad, but I feel like in real life, we spend so much time chasing the love of people who don't care about us while ignoring the love of people who care about us unconditionally. I think we just all need someone like Iroh who loves us unconditionally so we know what real love is versus fake love. Most of you know I'm a TikToker and I've grown a huge following, but when I started to blow up, there were plenty of people reaching out just because of my following. They didn't care about me. But the weird thing is, I knew this and I didn't care. I had such a low self-worth that I felt like I needed to earn people's love and affection. Similar to how Zuko felt like he had to earn his father's affection.
Once I deliver the Avatar to my father, he will welcome me home with honor and restore my rightful place on the throne.
If your father really wanted you home, he would have let you return by now. Avatar or no Avatar.
And at the end of season 2, Zuko got what he wanted. Zuko sided with Azula, Aang was defeated, and so he earned his father's love.
Your prince has returned! Zuko!
But as time went on, Zuko realized that the type of person his father wanted him to be in order to keep his love wasn't who Zuko was.
During the meeting, I was the perfect prince. The son my father wanted. But I wasn't me.
He realizes what his father wants isn't what he wants. What his father plans to do isn't something he can agree with. Basically, Zuko's dad wants to burn down the entire world and become its ruler. Nothing crazy. And so Zuko goes from prioritizing his father over the well-being of others to prioritizing the well-being of others over his father. Sometimes as a content creator, you can let your love for views and money drive you to make content that you usually wouldn't make in your right mind. But you're so blinded by the attention that you just do things you might regret. When I was around 18 or 19, I was feeling very desperate. There were a lot of video ideas that I knew would do well, but I also knew they could hurt people if I posted them. And I'm glad I didn't. This is why there are so many creators who make super offensive videos or videos that come at the expense of others. These creators likely don't even have any hate themselves. They just know it gets views. And so they ignore their conscience. At the end of the day, these people likely have low self-worth. The lower your self-worth is, the more desperate you are for attention. And the more desperate you are, the more extreme measures you'll take to get that attention. Just like how Zuko was so desperate for his father's love that he took such extreme measures to catch Aang. But when I turned 20, that's when I realized that my worth wasn't defined by my social media presence. Similar to when Zuko realized his worth wasn't defined by what his father thought of him.
For so long, all I wanted was for you to love me, to accept me. I thought it was my honor that I wanted, but really, I was just trying to please you.
I was able to stop myself from making videos that I wasn't proud of, and I realized my TikTok follow count didn't define me. Of course, I still wanted to grow and succeed, but I didn't consider myself worthless without it. Similarly, Zuko realized his worth wasn't defined on what his father thought, because what his father wanted was not moral to Zuko. So, that's it, right? Me and Zuko know our self-worth and we have nothing else to worry about, right? Wrong. See, after Zuko decided to join Aang, he lost something that was very important to him. His firebending. He couldn't firebend because his firebending was fueled by his drive and motivation. But since he was no longer motivated to catch Aang, he couldn't bend. And just like how I realized my TikTok didn't define my self-worth, I lost the motive to post. For almost my entire 20th year, I did not post to TikTok. Zuko made the right choice to stop following what his father wanted, and he took his foot off the gas. But just because you're no longer moving backward doesn't mean you're moving forward. Zuko realized that if he wanted to firebend again, he needed a healthier motive. So his motive changed into wanting to help Aang defeat the Fire Lord and end the 100-Year War. For me, my motivation has changed into wanting to achieve my full potential. I have so many creative ideas, and I just want to inspire young people like me, and really all people, that they can achieve anything that they want to do. And that's not to say that I don't want to gain any more TikTok followers or YouTube subscribers. I still want to succeed, but I know I'm not worthless without it. So my question to you guys is, not only what is your goal in life, but what is your motivation? Why are you chasing it? And the answer can be simple too. If you want to be an NBA player because you love basketball, great, that's amazing. I just really wanted to make this video because I think a lot of us are more like Zuko than we think.